What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. MLB, Los Angeles Dodgers versus Toronto Blue Jays, Game 2. So Game 1 is going on right now. I mean, Dodgers are winning right now. So if they win, they'll go be up 1-0. The Blue Jays come back and win, they'll be up 1-0. But anyway, so the Dodgers have a 57.0% chance to win, and the Blue Jays have a 43% chance to win. This is at Toronto. For pitchers, there's no guarantees, but the most likely pitchers. So you have Yamamoto for the Dodgers. He has an ERA of 2.49, WHIP of .99. And Gaussman for the Blue Jays has an ERA of 3.59, WHIP of 1.06. So, definitely a good pitching for both teams, but it's a definite advantage in favor of the Dodgers. So, despite the home field advantage that the Blue Jays have, I think with the pitching advantage, I think that the Dodgers will win game 2 tomorrow. College football. Ole Miss Rebels versus Oklahoma Sooners. Ole Miss has a 44.7% chance to win, and Oklahoma has a 55.3% chance to win. This is at Oklahoma, so quarterbacks we have Chambliss for Ole Miss, 104 out of 166, 1549 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. Batier for Oklahoma, 133 to 205, 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 1567 yards. Of course, Batier has, had some injury concerns, and, Oklahoma having one of the top defenses in the nation. It's gonna be interesting how Brent Venables versus, Lane Kiffin will go. Interesting how that goes. So yeah, I mean, honestly, Mateer with his injury issues, he hasn't been as well played as well as he probably could have been. Chambliss has been fine coming in. You know, when he became the starter after Austin Simmons got hurt. And so yeah, this could be a really good game. I think with it being at Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma will beat Ole Miss tomorrow. USF Bulls versus Memphis Tigers. USF has a 50% chance to win, and Memphis has a 50% chance to win. Yeah, this is at Memphis. So, South Florida, you have Brown at quarterback, 128 over 202, 1695 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Lewis for Memphis, 114 out of 164, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1337 yards. Yeah, I mean, it could be an interesting game. I mean, you know, you have USF, 18 nation, 6-1 record, Memphis unranked, 6-1 record. So this game will have do a lot to say about who from the group of 5 is going to make the college football playoff. Like, this could be a decent game. I mean, I think USF is just a bit better team than Memphis, so I think, USF will beat Memphis tomorrow. Missouri Tigers versus Vanderbilt Commodores. Uh, Missouri is a 45% chance to win, and Vandy is a 55% chance to win. This is at Vandy, so this is definitely a bigger game than most people thought going into the season. I mean, Missouri's 15 in the nation, 6-1 record. Vandy is 10 in the nation, 6-1 record. They haven't been in the top 10 since like the 40s. Like it's been a while. I mean, this could be a really good game. I mean, quarterbacks, you have Prabula for Missouri, 149 out of 213, 16, 17 yards, 11 touchdowns, 7 receptions. Diego Pavia for Vandy, 129 out of 183, 15, 69 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4 receptions. So good game. If Vandy wins, that puts Pavia firmly in the Heisman discussion, which is insane for a Vandy quarterback. College game is going to be there. It's going to be a big game. I think with it being at Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt people might actually show up. I don't know if there's going to be more Missouri people there just due to the distance between the two states, between Tennessee and Vanderbilt. But Vanderbilt people who generally only show up for baseball, they might show up for this. So I think home field advantage could actually be in favor of Vandy. So I think Vanderbilt beats Missouri tomorrow. BYU versus Iowa State. BYU has a 54.2% chance to win, and Iowa State is a 45.8% chance to win. This is at Iowa State. BYU's 11 Nation 7-0 record. Iowa State is unranked 5-2 record. So yeah, this could be an interesting game. For quarterbacks, you have Bachmeyer for BYU, 104 out of 166, 1386 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Becht for Iowa State, 127 out of 201, 1622 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So, decent stats for quarterbacks. They're not, big time numbers. But this could be a good game. Obviously BYU is, you know, highly ranked in comparison, but Iowa State's favored for a reason because they have a good coach. Like generally they're always like strong contenders in the Big 12, no matter how highly ranked they are. And basically any team who's playing them is on upset alert. And with it being at Iowa State, I think Iowa State is going to beat BYU tomorrow. Illinois fighting Illini versus Washington Huskies. Illinois is a 38.5% chance to win. Washington is a 61.5% chance to win. This is at Washington. So Illinois is 23 in the nation, 5-2 record. Washington's unranked, 5-2 record. Washington somehow ranked is favored by 3.5. So for quarterbacks, you have Altmaier for Illinois, 139 out 192, 1821 yards, 13 touchdowns, 1 reception. Williams Jr. for Washington, 137 out 190, 1837 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So, close in stats. I think Altmaier is definitely the better quarterback out of the two. It's not much. So, I think with it being at Washington, I think that's going to definitely play a role. So, and I don't necessarily think Illinois is that great of a team. I mean, as far as like they're probably top 25, but I don't necessarily think they're necessarily that great. But I think Washington will beat Illinois tomorrow. Baylor Bears versus Cincinnati Bearcats. Baylor has a 32.5% chance to win, and Cincinnati's a 67.5% chance to win. This is at Cincinnati. So Baylor's unranked 4-3 record. Cincinnati's 21, 6-1 record. And Cincinnati's only favored by 3.5, which is the main reason why I'm making a pick for this. So quarterbacks, you have Robertson for Baylor, 183 out of 300, 2376 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 receptions. Sorsby for Cincinnati, 120 out of 183, 1732 yards, 18 touchdowns, 1 reception. So, you know, could be an interesting QB matchup. So yeah, could be close, could be down the wire. I think with it being at Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati will beat Baylor tomorrow. Texas Longhorns versus Mississippi State Bulldogs. Texas has a 79.7% chance to win, and Mississippi State has a 20.3% chance to win. This is at Mississippi State. So Texas is 22 in the nation, 5-2 record. Mississippi State's unranked, 4-3 record. Yeah, Mississippi State's had a bunch of close losses, like that's kept them from getting the conference win the past 2 years. Like if they had not thrown the most retarded interception ever against, or at least one of the most retarded interceptions ever against Florida last week, they probably would have a conference win right now. Man, that was so dumb. Like I freaking hate seeing Florida win. Like I was like, dang it, why does Florida have to win in the most retarded way? I mean, frick. Man, I was kind of hoping Billy Napier would stay at Florida so that the Gators would keep losing a lot. Dang it. So at quarterbacks, you have Arch Manning for Texas, 114 out of 189, 1449 yards, 12 touchdowns, 5 receptions. Blake Shapen for Mississippi State, 124 out of 185, 1525 yards, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So obviously neither one's gonna necessarily be considered like your big time star quarterbacks this year. Like Arch really has underachieved. And like in away games, Arch has not played the best. Now, granted, some of those stadiums, you kind of understand why, even though Florida, Texas should have beaten Florida. Like really, and a lot lower spread than I was expecting. It's only 7.5. I honestly thought Texas would be favored by more. But regardless of that, I think with it being at Mississippi State with those cowbells, I don't think Arch Main's going to be able to respond well to the cowbells. So, some of his family definitely has some opinions about cowbells. His grandfather, his father, his uncle, they definitely have some opinions about Mississippi State, given they basically all three of them went to Ole Miss. Right. I mean, there's some opinions there about Mississippi State. But yeah, I think with it being at Mississippi State, with how that environment's going to be, and how I think it will affect Arch, I think Mississippi State is going to pull off the upset to get their first conference win of the year against Texas tomorrow. Texas A&M Aggies versus LSU Tigers. A&M has a 52.2% chance to win. LSU is a 47.8% chance to win. This is at LSU, so A&M's 3 in the nation, 7-0 record. LSU's 20 in the nation, 5-2 record. So obviously A&M surprisingly favored at 2.5, even though it's at LSU. I mean, Death Valley's that's a hard place to play in. So quarterbacks, we have Marcel Reed for A&M, 125 out of 202, 1770 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Garrett Nussmeier for LSU, 154 out of 232, 1638 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So I think this could be a really good game. Like this could actually be a really good game. With it being at LSU, I think LSU is gonna beat A&M tomorrow. Tennessee Volunteers versus Kentucky Wildcats. Tennessee is a 75% chance to win, and Kentucky is a 25% chance to win. This is at Kentucky, so Tennessee's 17 in the nation, 5-2 record. Kentucky's unranked, 2-4 record. Yeah, I don't know how in the world that spread is only 8.5. That's the spread's the only reason I'm picking this game. It should be a lot higher. Like that spread should be significantly higher in favor of Tennessee. Like I think Tennessee is gonna beat the crap out of Kentucky tomorrow. Houston Cougars versus Arizona State Sun Devils. Houston is a 28.1% chance to win, and Arizona State is a 71.9% chance to win. This is at Arizona State. So Houston's unranked 6-1 record. Arizona State's 24 nation, 5-2 record. So this could be an interesting game. Quarterbacks, you have Weigman for Houston, 106 out of 171, 13 yards, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Levitt for Arizona State, 127 out of 204, 1358 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 receptions. So if Levitt's healthy, that really affects things. Like that could really help Arizona State. And yeah, and he did play, last week, so maybe he's likely to, I guess, be able to play tomorrow. So, but injury issues could of course occur again. Now with this being at Arizona State, I think Arizona State is gonna beat Houston tomorrow. NBA Chicago Bulls versus Orlando Magic. The Bulls have a 32.5% chance to win, and the Magic has a 67.5% chance to win. This is at Orlando, so yeah, this could be a good game. These teams are kind of like amongst like your lower tier like rosters, like probably your middle level or lower level. But with players, you have Josh Giddey. For the Bulls, you have Josh Giddey, Patrick Williams, Kobe White, Nikola Vucevic, Dalen Terry, Jalen Smith, Julian Phillips. I mean, relatively not as well known names, but maybe they'll be able to make things interesting. With the Magic, you have Wendell Carter Jr., Colin Castleton, Tristan Da Silva, Jonathan Isaac, Jace Richardson, Orlando Robinson, Jalen Suggs. So yeah, these are both teams that are like have relatively unknown players in comparison to some of your more, I guess, better teams. So this could be interesting. I don't know if it'd be necessarily be very high scoring. I think with it being at Orlando, I think the Magic will beat the Bulls tomorrow. Charlotte Hornets versus Philadelphia 76ers. The Hornets have a 29.4% chance to win, and the Sixers have a 70.6% chance to win. This is at Philadelphia. So, yeah, so one thing's interesting, the Hornets really have no injured players, while the Sixers, you have, Paul George, Jaron McCain, Trina Wofford, Justin Edwards, all hurt, with Edwards being game time decision, while the rest are out. So that is a big deal. And, with the rosters, you have Horns, you have LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Pat Connaughton, Josh Green, Brandon Miller, Drew Pearson, Colin Sexton, Grant Williams. Philly, you have, of course, Joel Embiid. Paul George feels healthy. Um, Andre Drummond, Eric Gordon, Kyle Lowry. So yeah, this could be. I think just for them being at Philadelphia with the roster the Sixers have, I think the 76ers will beat the Hornets tomorrow. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.